State of Florida versus Leroy Whitaker Jr. and Hakeem Robinson, case number 2020 CF 3601A and B. The defendants are each present with counsel, as is counsel for the state. We're here for sentencing following the findings of the jury for both Mr. Whitaker and Mr. Robinson, finding them guilty of the offenses.
What's up, Truth Team? It's your girl, Mickey Truth, SC's #1 urban blogger and the queen of paperwork. And boy, y'all remember just a couple months ago, we sat here day in and day out for about, 5 days until the verdicts was read in the case of Ksoo and ATK Scotty. And as far as us over here on the Truth Team, we're not surprised to what the outcome will be, because they got found guilty of capital murder. And in Florida, that's automatic life without the possibility of parole. But was it a Hail Mary or something that came through? I don't know. Let's get into the verdict. Not the verdict, the sentencing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's get into it.
We have Mickey Truth.
Who is this? You got Mickey Truth kicked out.
Shout out Mickey.
Let's get one thing clear. This your girl, Mickey Truth.
Was home alone. Both Mr. Whitaker and his co-defendant, Mr. Barner, broke into that home and held her there against her will for over an hour. And she was also physically grabbed and thrown to the ground. And it was a terrifying event for her. So I would ask for a consecutive sentence in count 2.
All right, thank you. All right, then Mr. Whitaker, if you'll come forward, sir, for sentencing.
Judge, as we're coming up, Ms. Schlax, I believe, is already in agreement with this, but just for the court, there are 2 restitution orders in Mr. Whitaker's case. One is for $1,200, and that is for Ms. Buckley, damage to her glasses and loss of her cell phone. And there is a $7,500 restitution order that is to victims' crime compensation, and that is for funeral expenses that were paid out. Now we'll have some restitution orders in Mr. Robinson's case.
Okay, and so to be clear, Ms. Schlax, no objection to these 2 restitution orders?
No legal objection, Your Honor. As to the second amount of the $7,500 of the funeral expenses, I assume it will be jointly and severally liable with not only Mr. Hakeem Robinson, but Mr. Dominique Barner, who has entered a plea in this case, admitting his involvement, as well as Abdul Robinson Sr.
And the restitution orders do reflect any money paid by any other responsible co-defendant. We'll go towards that as well.
Okay, I'm not sure if Senior is considered a co-defendant necessarily in this case for him to share in that expense. Perhaps he is, I don't know. I'm not making that determination today.
Certainly.
Also, just to be clear, these have to be submitted electronically. I'm not signing these. That's the new policy from your office and ours.
I will have
So
it electronically.
You'll need to submit those electronically for my signature. Okay. Anything else? Mr. Whitaker, do you wish to say anything? Okay. All right, then, Mr. Whitaker, of course, you sat through the trial, as did I, and on July 31, this jury did find you guilty both of count 1, murder in the first degree, and count 2, burglary with an assault and battery. A unanimous vote by the jury. And so today I will adjudicate you guilty of each of those 2 counts. And on count 1, the murder in the first degree, this court has no choice but to sentence you as required under the law to a mandatory term of life in prison without parole. You will get credit for 1,995 days already served. As to count 2, the burglary with assault or battery, that is a first degree felony punishable up to life. And this court does find that what Ms. Buckley experienced and sustained merits a sentence of life in prison as to count 2. That will run concurrently with count 1 and with credit for 1,995 days already served. I will impose the mandatory felony court cost of $518, a $150 total appointed attorney's fee. A restitution order will be entered against you jointly and severally with your co-defendants as to $7,500 to the Victims' Crimes Compensation Trust Fund, $1,200 payable to Ms. Buckley, and that will conclude the sentence. You do maintain the right to appeal both judgments and sentences that I have imposed today, and if you cannot afford an attorney for that appeal, one can be appointed to you, but a notice of appeal must be filed within 30 days. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Is it
And Your Honor, we are prepared to file that today.
the notice of appeal?
Yes,
Okay. Do you need me to appoint counsel then?
I would ask at this time. His family may elect other arrangements in the future, but I would ask for that at this time.
Okay, then I'll appoint, at this juncture, I have to start with the Office of the Public Defender for purposes of appeal. Do you understand your sentences?
Where
All right, so
Ace
that's
said
gonna
you can't
conclude
pay?
your case today. Oh, what is happening? Hold on, bring him back. He's got two other matters that are pending on the court's docket. What do the parties want me to do with those?
Judge, I'll announce a null pros code 30 on both of those.
On both of them? Okay, your other two cases have been dropped by the state. Thank you.
I mean, he got 2 life sentences. You might as well.
All right. Then moving on to Mr. Hakeem Robinson, is there any evidence that the defense wishes to present on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
Any evidence from the state other than the victim impact that we've already heard?
No, Judge, and I will similarly submit a restitution order of $7,500 for victim's crime compensation for the funeral expenses. One other matter with regard specifically to Mr. Robinson, which I did discuss with the defense counsel, the state is going to ask the court also impose an increased cost of prosecution in relation to his case. And I have an amount of $62,159.29. And that is the amount of money that the state paid to the experts in this case, the digital experts, which testified at trial and the Daubert hearing, and all the analysis that they did in this case. And I have shown that to defense counsel as well. I don't believe they have an objection, but I'll let them speak to that.
We would object to that, Your Honor, just given the fact that we did file a Daubert motion. We did not think that either the expert or what he was testifying to were admissible, and we also took issue with the great cost of the spend.
All right, well, there being an objection, then we need to have a hearing on that matter then. Do we not?
Judge,
I mean, also understand if I order these costs and the appellate court tells me I'm wrong, that those experts shouldn't have been admitted and I was incorrect in my Daubert here, obviously you would not then be, or your client would not be responsible for those costs. Those would be backed out of any cost of prosecution that have been ordered. I don't know if that would suffice for this. Otherwise, we'll need to have a hearing and I'll need to hear evidence and testimony to determine whether that is a correct and accurate amount as we sit here today.
Please, Your Honor, yes.
Okay. All right, then I won't at this juncture order cost of prosecution, but we'll need to pass that for a hearing on another date. Okay. Do you wish to make any argument? I don't know. I'm looking at the two of you. I don't know which one's going to handle it. Ms. Kawas, Mr. DeCoste?
Argument as to,
There being no other evidence, then if there is anything you wish to argue on behalf of your client.
Judge, just understanding that he is just facing the 1 count.
Correct.
And there is, and I have discussed with my client that the court's hands are tied. And it's a mandatory sentence that must be imposed. So at this time, before the sentence is imposed, we have no legal argument.
Okay. And I always give every defendant the opportunity to speak if they wish. Mr. Robinson, is there anything you wish to say? Okay. Anything the state wishes to say?
nothing additional, Judge.
Okay. All right, Mr. Robinson, if you'll come forward for sentencing. All right, Mr. Robinson, again, on July 31 of 2025, the jury found you guilty as charged in count 1 to murder in the first degree by unanimous verdict. And at this time, this court will then adjudicate you guilty of that offense and sentence you to the only lawful sentence that this court can impose, and that is mandatory life in prison without the eligibility for parole. You will have credit for 1,666 days of time already served. I'll impose mandatory felony court costs of $518. I'll enter a restitution order payable to the Victims' Crimes Compensation Trust Fund, which will be joint and several with your co-defendant, in the amount of $7,500. Do you understand your sentence?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, of course, you do maintain the right to appeal both the judgment and the sentence entered in this case, and you, if are going to do so, must do so within 30 days. If you can't afford an attorney for that appeal, one can be appointed to you. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are the parties requesting at this time appointment of counsel, or is he going to retain counsel for the appeal?
Your Honor, at this time, he is going to be exercising his right to appeal, but at this time, we'd ask you to appoint counsel for appellate purposes. He will, of course, have advised him if he decides that to retain counsel, he can do so at any time.
Yes. Okay. All right. That will be done. So do you understand your sentence?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, Mr. Robinson also has one remaining case, 2021 CF 2332 for another count of murder in the first degree. What is the intention of the parties for that matter?
Judge, I think we need an additional pretrial date for that case. And perhaps we could also address the hearing on the cost of prosecution at the same time.
All right. When do y'all want to come back for both of those things?
I'm available anytime, Judge.
Okay. I'll look to the defense then.
Your Honor, at the moment, I'm going to be in trial in Manhattan the entire month of November.
Okay. Is there any time this month in October that you're available?
Yes.
I mean, I'm available next week or the week after. I have no trials for the next 2 weeks and have some limited availability the week of October 20th. This shouldn't take but I don't know.
Candidly,
I mean, at this point, we done heard what we had to hear. I mean, again, it wasn't nothing else the judge can do. This got to be one of those stories because I guess it's up in the air if Yungeen Ace gonna pay for another lawyer, okay? Because they both are seeking public defenders for the appeal process. At this point, I don't know. I know one thing about Ksoo. If he don't get a stronger legal stance on his appeal, he's gonna be sitting up in there and gonna be singing like C-Day and Rondo number 9 every couple years, thinking they're gonna get out. That's all I'm saying. Okay. ATK Scotty, I don't know. He kind of looked defeated. Okay. Now I know I saw a post the other day, and I was supposed to do a video. It just slipped my mind that Ksoo said, they're gonna give me life like I'm nobody. Bruh, you got found guilty of murder. We saw you, and we ain't gotta say allegedly, because you got found guilty as being a person chasing somebody down, shooting a man's face off, leg off, like that was an intense trial, and you're still facing a whole nother murder. Like, I mean, again, if he got found not guilty, it would have been different, but bro, you got found guilty. And so far, you have not proven that they got the wrong person, okay? Even in your legal arguments, you're not saying they got the wrong person, because that hype shit is out the window. I'm just saying. But hey, that's my little 1-2 about it. Y'all get in the comments, let me know what you think. Like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend, I'll pull up on your girl Making Truth. And I gotta get ready. Tonight is my first training session, trying to tone up some of this. So wish me luck. I'm out.
This is the weakest. Give a fuck about what they scream. Holla.
Shout out Mickey. Mickey, you gonna be big. Like,
I'm trying to conquer the world, coming from where I come from. Hey, this your girl Mickey Truth, #1 blogger in South Carolina.